Hi, I'm pregnant. Is this a nice way to begin? Hi everybody, this video is gonna be 100% in English so you can practice your listening skills and learn some new words. So the content of the video is pretty much my pregnancy, this one and the first one. So I'm gonna be talking about some things about my personal life, and along the way I'm gonna be highlighting a couple of words that might be new to you. First of all, I have to start off by saying that I am 30 years old and I am married, because some people tend to think that I am a teenager and I got pregnant by accident because of a video I posted here 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. We can show this video now, please. Roleta russa do teste de gravidez. A moça da farmácia ficou muito confusa.
É mesmo, as duas pegando.
Vamos fazer e esconder o resultado e descobrir juntas.
Por que não, né?
Você já fez teste de gravidez?
Não.
Põe aqui. Tem que esperar 3 minutos. Não, aqui tá escrito 1 minuto.
Ah, 1 minuto é rápido. 2 minutinhos.
Deu 2 já. Então é mais do que certeza.
Ai, meu Deus.
Ai, meu Deus.
O que é isso?
Pera.
Tá certo aí?
Você tá zoando.
Não é possível.
This video is almost 3 years old, and up to this moment, daily I get new comments saying, oh my god, that lady didn't know she was pregnant. How come she didn't know she was pregnant? First of all, people don't get that it's a joke. And also, I got some comments coming from men thinking that I am a terrible young lady who didn't know she was pregnant. And, you know, trying to give me a life lesson. And I was like, oh my god, it was a joke. I knew I was pregnant. I'm married. I'm 30. I wasn't 30 by then, but you know what I mean, right? In my late 20s. And, well, I want to start by comparing a little bit my first pregnancy with this pregnancy, because it was kind of a shock, to be honest. During my first pregnancy, things were so easy, so light. I didn't have any problems that I thought, well, during my second pregnancy, it's gonna be even easier, because before I got pregnant, you know, the first time with Danny, I didn't work out. I didn't used to work out, and I wouldn't eat healthy food. So when I got pregnant, I was like eating chocolate every day, and I wouldn't exercise at all. I would only walk the dog. That's all I would do. And towards the end of my first pregnancy, I decided that I would start Pilates classes. That was all. Now, this time it was different. I was a new woman. I was eating salad, a bunch of salad. I was eating healthy food. I stopped drinking coffee with milk, which was a huge step for me because I love coffee with milk, with sugar, sorry. I was like, nope, no sugar for me, just plain coffee or a bit of milk, and that's it. I was controlling, you know, and not eating chocolate every day. I was exercising. I was doing Pilates classes, and I lost weight. And for the first time in my life, I had a nutritionist with me. So I was like, this pregnancy, I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna kill it. Man, was I wrong. I was so wrong. Because when I was pregnant the first time, every time I needed to rest, because, you know, being pregnant makes you really tired. Every time I needed to rest, I would go and rest. You know, I was like, I need to take a nap. And then I would go take a nap. But this time, every time I'm exhausted, I'm worn out, and I really need to rest my head, rest my body, I have a toddler next to me going, Mom, 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 Mom. So, yeah, I have a toddler. Danny is now 2 years old. And we use the word toddler. I'm using the word toddler here because it's the common word for us to describe a child who is 1.5 or 2 years old. And toddler, the word toddler comes from the verb to toddle. Toddle is to walk in a clumsy way. You know, when they are learning how to walk, they are not walking properly. They are toddling. So that's why we call them toddler. When I say toddler, you know exactly the age of the child or around what age they are. And so I have a toddler at home who needs me a lot, who needs, you know, to be taken care of the whole time. So it's been harder this time because of that. And also because, you know, different pregnancies, even with the same body, it's gonna be different. It's not something you can predict. So as some of you already know, I have fibromyalgia. It's a very difficult word to pronounce in English. Fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia. I think I'm pronouncing it right. And because I have fibromyalgia, I have this chronic pain in my whole body. So some days are harder than the others. I also have problems sleeping. I also have cognitive issues sometimes. Cognitive issues, which we call fibrofog. Fibrofog. So I often forget things, or sometimes I have this, you know, I mix up a couple of things. You are used to it because you study with me, so you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I forget what I'm saying. I get completely lost. It's the fibrofog. It's not my fault. And also, despite of the fact that I have fibromyalgia, I'm now experiencing this pain in my lower back. And it's not because of fibromyalgia or because I have a problem. I had a problem before. Nothing related to that. It's just because I'm pregnant. Just because my belly is getting bigger and bigger and I can't walk straight anymore. You know, I'm leaning backwards. And because I'm leaning backwards, I have lower back pain. I also have a problem on my hips. Describing my body is like everything is rotten. What's happening? But I've had this before I got pregnant. I think it's pronounced bursitis. Let's check. Bursitis. Let's check. I might be completely wrong. Bear with me.
Bursitis.
Bursitis. I was right. Maybe I should be an English teacher. I'm considering that now. So yeah, fibromyalgia and bursitis and lower back pain and being pregnant. And it's been so easy, you know? I'm like, chill. So easy. Oh, and funny thing, when I was pregnant the first time, I was feeling so good. I didn't have any pain, even not exercising, you know. I was feeling good. So I didn't even feel the symptoms of the fibromyalgia. I was feeling so good. And this time it's different. So like I said before, it's not something you can predict. It'll happen in different ways, for different women, and even in the same body, it's gonna be different. Even if we're talking about the same woman, the same body, it's gonna be different if you get pregnant once, twice, 3 times. So you never know. Another difference that's very interesting is that Danny was born in the middle of summer. He was born in January. It was very hot. It was boiling hot. And I was living in another apartment, the one I lived previous, you know, this one. And it was a very small apartment and very warm apartment. So we suffered a bit with the warm weather, with the hot weather. And this time, Arthur, it's a boy, Arthur is due in the middle of winter. So it's going to be a completely different experience for me. He's due in July, in the middle of July. And I live in Curitiba, so I figure it's going to be very cold. Or I may be completely wrong because Curitiba is not stable regarding the weather. So I don't know. This is also something you can write down. When we're talking about when the baby will be born, we use the expression to be due. The baby is due on 21st of December. The baby is due in July. So we use due and then the period, the date.
Not born?
You can use born. You can use born. He will be born. He was born. We use to be born generally in the past. I was born, my baby was born, but when we're talking about the future of this action of being born, we use do. It's like, this is the word we use for previsão. Not only for babies coming out, okay, but also like the bus, the train, we can use the word do too. Now, how I found out I was pregnant. I went to the bathroom and I really needed to pee. Being very specific. With my first pregnancy, I have a video here explaining, how it was to find out, how I told Victor. I have the video showing Victor the results. It was really, really sweet. But this time it was a bit different because 2025 was a really rough year. We had a rough patch, and I unfortunately had 2 miscarriages. I'm gonna say I had one miscarriage. So I got pregnant at the beginning of the year 2025, and unfortunately I lost the baby. And it was, confusing, it was hard, and after a couple of months we were feeling better, and then I got pregnant again, I guess, but I had what they called a chemical pregnancy. A chemical pregnancy is when you have a miscarriage, but it's too early to tell, or it's not even a pregnancy, but the results come out as being as positive, so you get, it's tricky, it's tricky. So I thought I was pregnant, but I wasn't. I think that's what happened. And something interesting regarding the English language, and this is something you should be careful. When we say we lost a baby, we think about the word aborto in Portuguese, and we do have a word that's very similar in English. It's abortion, but abortion is when the mother decides, right? When in Portuguese we say aborto espontâneo. Mm-hmm. Aborto espontâneo. So the difference in Portuguese is that we explain what kind of abortion it was, right? So for aborto espontâneo, we don't say abortion. We say miscarriage. But anyway, it's 2026 now. I'm pregnant again. I'm feeling good. These things, unfortunately, it's very common, almost every woman I know has been through it. Unfortunately, it's common. Not a very nice experience. Not very nice. It changes you. It gets in your feelings, I would say, get in your nerves. But I'm over it. It's okay. It happened. So I found out I was pregnant in November 2025. So it had been such a difficult year that I was like, maybe I'm not pregnant. Maybe I'm just, again, thinking that I'm pregnant, but I'm not. But then I bought the test, and it wasn't like in that video I showed you at the beginning here. Danny was with me. That was really special. I was holding Danny when I saw the result, when I saw that it was positive, and I thought, when I saw it, I was like, no, I'm not gonna be putting myself down. It's positive. Of course it's positive. I'm pregnant. No, I'm 100% pregnant. And then I showed my husband, Victor. He celebrated, and he's here now. So it was really sweet. Something that I think is really important in terms of vocab when we're talking about being pregnant is the ways a baby can come out. So we have the expression C-section, which is the surgery you can, undergo to have the baby. Or the opposite of a C-section would be, and then we have 2 terms. We have natural birth, and we also have the term vaginal birth. Do I have to explain, or is it clear? Think about it for a second. Isn't it pretty? Isn't it such a beautiful thing? I've always dreamed of being a mom. It has always been my dream. I love being a mother. I think it's the most important role I have in my life. I love being a teacher. I love being, of course, a wife. I love being a friend, a daughter, but being a mom is the most important thing in my life, the most important role I have, I guess. Or at least top 3. It's top 3 at least. Because I also have, other roles anyway in life. We have so many roles. Being a woman is itself. It's a role, right? Whew. And that's it. Different kind of video, right? Different vibe, different energy. A bit too intimate, a bit too much information, maybe. I know. I don't have anything else to talk about. Do you have any ideas? Comment below. And by the way, if you want to know more about me personally, as a friend almost, or about my life, you can always buy my bilingual book. I have a book that I've written, and it's written in 2 languages, in English and Portuguese. You can also use the book as a studying material, and I think you're gonna enjoy it. The link is gonna be here in the description of this video. And that's it. Like, comment, share, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Say bye. Bye.